Hello, and welcome to Pirateology. My name is Brenna, and I'm an educator here at the Whaling Museum and Education Center of Cold Spring Harbor. Today, we are going to separate pirate fact from fiction. We're going to learn all about which pirate myths came from books, movies, and stories, and which ones were real and came from history. Then, after learning about pirates, we are going to make a special treasure chest craft together. Are you ready to get started? When I say the word pirate, what kind of person do you picture? Probably someone ferocious, right? A fighter with a sword? Probably a man. Do you picture someone with an eye patch? Or say, maybe a peg leg? How about a hook for a hand? Or someone wearing a skull and crossbones? How about someone with a funny accent who says things like, "Arg, mateys"? Most of our ideas about pirates come from books, movies, and TV. Things like Treasure Island, Pirates of the Caribbean, or Peter Pan. But were pirates really like this? Did they really talk like that and bury their treasure? Did they fly Jolly Roger flags and have peg legs? Today, we're going to discover the truth about pirates, one myth at a time. Myth number 1. Did pirates really talk like that? Well, not really. Some words like ahoy, avast, and landlubber were real words used by real sailors and probably pirates in history. The traditional pirate accent, however, was made up by Hollywood. The accent was inspired by an actor named Robert Newton. Newton played Long John Silver in Disney's 1950 film Treasure Island. Newton was from the West Country of England and had an accent that emphasized the letter R. Ever since his performance, people have imagined pirates saying things like, "Arg, matey." Here's a clip from that film. Pay special attention to Newton's accent.
And I say there'll be no killing till I gives the word. Shipmates.
Shipmates.
Like everyone else, a pirate's language and accent depended on where they were originally from. English pirates had English accents, sure, but not all pirates were from England, or even spoke English. Myth number 2. Did pirates really use skull and crossbone flags? What do you think? Absolutely they did. This is 100% true. Before attacks, pirates flew a special flag called a Jolly Roger. Pirate flags were designed to be scary. Pirates hoped that their victims would be so terrified after seeing these flags that they wouldn't put up too much of a fight. Each pirate had their own design, usually on a black or red background. Some historians believe the name Jolly Roger comes from Joli Rouge, which is French for pretty red. The skull and crossbones was a real flag flown by a real pirate named Edward England. Despite his name, Captain England was born in Ireland in 1685. Myth number 3. Did pirates really bury treasure? The answer to this one is sometimes. Pirates rarely buried their treasure because they preferred to spend their winnings as soon as they could. The most famous story about buried treasure is about Captain Kidd, who may not actually have been a pirate at all. William Kidd was born around 1645 in Scotland, though he spent much of his life here in New York. Captain Kidd worked as a privateer, which meant he captured enemy ships and treasure on behalf of the British Crown. Being a privateer was basically like being a pirate, but it was legal. Unfortunately, Captain Kidd started to break the rules of privateering. He was violent with his crew and killed one of his gunners. He became friendly with known pirates when he should have arrested them on sight. Finally, he mistakenly looted an Armenian ship and stole treasure he wasn't supposed to have. The British government declared Kidd to be a pirate, and he was forced to flee for his safety. While he was evading British authorities, Kidd left parts of his treasure with different friends and family members for safekeeping. He also may have buried some treasure on Gardiner's Island, off of eastern Long Island. This myth has never been completely confirmed, though. Captain Kidd's treasure contained a lot of gold and silver, but not all pirate treasure was as exciting. Pirates stole whatever they could get their hands on, which was usually cargoes of food, cloth, and animal hide. These items could then be sold for money in a port town. When the pirate Blackbeard was captured, his treasure turned out to contain sugar, cocoa, and a bale of cotton. Myth number 4. Were all pirates men? Definitely not. Women weren't allowed to be merchant sailors or join the Navy, but pirates didn't live by the same rules as everyone else. Anne Bonny, for instance, was born in Ireland in 1697. She married a sailor but then ran away with pirate captain Calico Jack Rackham. Anne served as a pirate on board Rackham's ship along with another female pirate, Mary Read. Grace O'Malley is another female pirate. She was born to a noble family in Ireland in 1530. After marrying at 16 and having 3 children, she became captain of her father's fleet of ships. She led many successful raids on neighboring chieftains and British ships. The most successful female pirate was a woman known as Zheng Yi Sao. She married a pirate captain and took over his fleet when he died, becoming the commander of hundreds of ships. Eventually, Zheng Yi Sao controlled the entire South China Sea. She agreed to retire only after the government of China brought in the British and Portuguese navies to challenge her. And even then, China gave in to all of her demands and allowed her to live out her life in peace and prosperity. Myth number 5. Did pirates really wear eye patches? What do you think? The answer is yes, but maybe not for the reason that you're thinking. Eye patches made pirates look scary, and pirates loved looking scary. But wearing an eye patch could also help pirates move around their ships. Pirates often moved above and below deck, where it was either very bright or very dark. The eye patch allowed them to keep one eye adjusted to the darkness of the ship's hull. Myth number 6. Did pirates really make troublemakers walk the plank? Nope, this one's made up. They had plenty of other brutal punishments, though. Anyone who misbehaved could be keel-hauled, tied to the back of the ship and dragged along in the water. They could also be marooned, abandoned on an island with no food or water. Myth number 7. Did pirates really have peg legs? Not usually. Let's take a look at an object from our museum's collections, which can help us answer this question. Did pirates really have peg legs? Most of our ideas of pirates with peg legs comes not from history, but from a story, a book called Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. You may have heard of it, or you may have heard of one of the pirate characters in the book, called Long John Silver. Long John Silver is the cook of the ship, and he has a wooden leg. But were there really pirates like Long John Silver? Well, we know there were regular people hundreds of years ago who didn't have a leg. What did they do? Let's pretend I am someone from the year 1700, and I have lost my leg. I need a way to get around. I can use a crutch, or if I can afford it, I can have a wooden peg leg made especially for me. These legs would be made for each individual. They would be the right height and the right width, and they would have leather straps so you could strap yourself in to make it nice and sturdy. This was a very good and pretty comfortable solution for people who were missing a leg hundreds of years ago. We know that wooden peg legs like this were fairly common throughout history. But does that mean that there were a lot of pirates walking around on legs like this? If you were a pirate back in the 17 and 1800s, you probably lived and worked on a ship that looks kind of like this ship behind me here. Now, getting around on a ship like this can be kind of tricky. Imagine it's in the middle of the ocean, so it's always moving back and forth and kind of side to side. You're going to have to climb up and down really steep ladders to get from the top deck where you're working to the below decks part where you're probably sleeping. You're also probably going to have to climb those ropes to get all the way to the top of those masts. You'll need to be up there helping to raise and lower the sails, or to keep a lookout for other ships in the crow's nest. Moving around on a ship like this is tricky enough if you've got two good legs. Most people, if they were pirates and happened to lose a leg, that probably meant the end of their piracy career. Unless you were a cook and you could stay in the galley all day, you probably stopped being a pirate after losing your leg. We do have one story, however, about possibly a real-life pirate with a peg leg. There was a pirate named Edward England back in the 1700s. He was a fearsome pirate. You probably haven't heard of him, but I bet you've heard of his flag. He was one of the first pirates to sail under the Jolly Roger, the skull and crossbones. In 1720, Edward England was sailing in the Indian Ocean when some of his crew decided to mutiny. They threw him off the ship, they marooned him, they left him on the island of Mauritius with 3 other pirates who were loyal to him. And according to one account, one of the pirates that was marooned with Edward England was described as a man with a terrible pair of whiskers and a wooden leg. So, most pirates probably didn't have a peg leg, but it's possible that at least one of them did. So there you have it, mateys. The truth about pirates. Now that we've uncovered pirate fact from fiction, let's make a treasure chest so that you can hide secret and special items of your own. To make this craft, you'll need a craft kit from the museum, as well as glue or tape, markers or crayons, and a pair of scissors. The first thing you'll want to do is take apart your craft kit to make sure you've got all the materials. We've given you ribbon and some stick-on gems and some pirate images on paper, all of which you can use to decorate your treasure chest. The first thing you'll want to do is decorate your treasure chest with markers, crayons, or even paint if you have them. I'm going to decorate my treasure chest to make it look a little bit like wood, like a traditional treasure chest might have been. But you can do whatever you like. You can go totally crazy and wild with the colors if you want to. This is your craft, and you should make it look like your own. You'll notice pieces of tape holding your chest together. I want to highlight these to make it look more like a wooden chest with metal rings, so I'm going to color those in with orange. But again, you can do whatever you like, whatever you think looks best for your treasure chest. I'm also going to use this glitter ribbon to decorate those orange pieces, but I think I want it to be smaller, so I'm going to cut the ribbon like this in between the pieces of glitter. You can cut this however you like. You can keep it as one big piece, or you can cut it into even smaller pieces than I am. It's all up to you. I think I want 3 long pieces to run along the top of my treasure chest. So I'm going to cut them into 3 and then stick them on with glue, just like this. You can use a glue stick or liquid glue if you have it. Either will work well, although you might have to press a little bit harder with a glue stick just to make sure everything sticks and stays in place. So you see how these pieces of glitter ribbon fit perfectly along the top? I like this look. It looks like an expensive treasure chest. perfect for storing all my valuables. If you've decided to put the ribbon on your treasure chest like this, you just want to make sure that it fits in place. You can cut it afterwards. You can use a little bit more glue if you need to. And then when you're all done, you just want to give it a good time to dry so that you don't end up moving the ribbon around while you finish decorating. So I'm just going to make sure that everything is glued down into place. One last swipe with my glue stick. Press it down. And then I'm going to set it aside so that it can dry. Once it's dry, I'm going to continue decorating. I think I want the top of my treasure chest to have some gems. So I'm going to put some gems on the top in different colors. The gems that I have in my kit may look slightly different from the gems that you have in yours, but they're all sparkly and shiny and fun to decorate with. I think I just want 4 gems on the top in different colors, so I'm going to decorate it like this. But again, remember, you can decorate your treasure chest however you like. We've also given you these little paper pirate flag cutouts. You can keep them whole, you can cut them down, you can cut out the skull and crossbones. I want to use them to decorate the sides of my treasure chest. So I'm just going to cut them down a little bit so that they fit. And then again, use my glue stick to stick them onto the chest. Just like that. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. This makes my treasure chest look nice and scary so that no one would dare steal it. And I think that that's it for my chest. I like the way that it looks. You can continue decorating if you have anything else that you want to use at home. I haven't used up quite all of my materials, so I'm going to put everything shiny inside my chest to keep it nice and safe. And there you have it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about pirates and making a fun treasure chest craft. We hope to see you again soon. Goodbye for now.